convincing the Melly to become a spy and not to save his friend's life, that his friend's life needs to be executed because he had the chest formation in him, and how he can't give the Melly's people their names, their gravestones, and the area of heroes. He can't do that right now until the Melly completes his mission. It was such a manipulating, gaslighting, controlling scene. Like, I felt like I was reading a scene from Heaven's Official Blessing with the Heavenly Emperor. Like, this man feels like the Heavenly Emperor. I do not know if I can actually trust him or not. Like, part of me is like full on getting gaslighted and manipulated with the Malleed. I'm believing every single one of the words of the Emperor, especially when he was listing off all of the freaking names of the men. I'm like, this could be a tactic he's using to manipulate and control the Malleed. But at the same time, he feels so sincere. He feels so sincere. Like, I don't trust most people in this book, and part of me knows I'm going to regret if I trust him, but I'm trusting him, and that's the bad part. I'm trusting him. I should not trust him as far as I throw him. I know that, but dumb me is trusting him. At the same time, I want to fight him. I want to knock his teeth out. I'm like, dude, back off my wife. Back off. He even promises the Melly that he will go to the graves. He will go to the people who had died, the ones he couldn't give the names to, and he will give them food and drinks while the Melly is away. He promises that they will have one day their graves in the area of heroes, the noble heroes. Like, he promises all these promises, and it's so messy, especially when we know he doesn't keep any of these promises. Like, it was so frustrating to read, but at the same time, my ass was getting gaslighted. Emperor was the one who took the Melleed to the restriction area, and I thought there would be a big, huge, deep secret about their country, a dark, nasty secret that the Melleed would learn, except there was nothing. It's just them having one last conversation with each other, a good old deep-reaching conversation, and I thought we were going to have something more. I thought there would be a deep secret of their country built, but no, it's just two buds having a good old drink left with each other. Kind of upsetting, honestly. The Emperor had given the Melleed permission to see his friend one last time and to tell his friend the truth, so when the main character had saw him during the time mirror warp thing and the dude was lying to the main character's face, it's because he had known the truth. He was putting on the act of a villain to keep the truth from the main character and from the main character from being harmed, and later down keeping the Melleed and the Emperor from being harmed. Yes, that was a full-on act. So yes, the Melleed goes to him to tell him the truth, and the dude is so grateful to know the truth that he was heartbroken when he thought he had harmed the Melleed and harmed all of his fellow comrades, but knowing that it wasn't his fault and it was a chess formation, and he understands he has to be executed to keep the truth. He's willing to be executed to keep the truth. And it's so heartbroken because, again, the Emperor had told the Melly, one of the reasons why he can't reveal the fact that he has the chess formation in him and he was controlled, because other nobility will suspect all of the Melleed's men to have the transformation, and everybody else will be targeted and harmed over it. So yes, this dude fully understands that he has to be executed to protect the Melleed and protect all the other living men. It is so sad. They have their brotherhood thing. They do a whole brotherhood thing. They, get the drinks. They give each other the last wish wells. They become brothers for only a short period of time. Marshall Brothers, Brotherhood. Yes, they have that, and they only get it for a period of time. They knew each other. They were children. They were slaves in the same household. In Mercy's household, they were both slaves together. They bonded through meat buns. And it's so sad. Like, it was so sad. Like how Evening Snow had told him, he is being ripped to shreds physically for jumping into broken recorded scrolls and seeing the recorded scrolls. He's being ripped to shreds, but the physical pain doesn't compare to the emotional pain. He is ripping himself to shreds. He's in anguish. He's upset with himself. He's berating himself for everything he said and has done since the Melleed has returned. He's disgusted with himself, and I'm like, I warned you. I told you. you were gonna regret it, but you did not listen to me. I read Husky and his White Cat Fusion. I knew what was gonna happen. I told you were gonna fall in the same footsteps as the main character from Husky and his White Cat Fusion because he did the whole same thing. He was parading, he was hating upon the male lead until he got to see some parts of the male lead's past, and then he regretted it. He was pleading, he was begging, he was apologizing. Like, dude, I was warning you, but you did not listen to me. I understood where you were coming from because, again, you were stabbed. You were full on stabbed. You saw your men, you saw your people be slaughtered by decisions made by the male lead. But I told you you were going to regret it. You should have listened to me. I'm never wrong. Well, there are times I'm wrong, and I apologize for it, but you should have listened to me this time around. Once he awakens, he finds out that the male lead's not at his home anymore, but sent to Crane's, and it's so horrible to read the scenes of the male lead being tortured, because we don't just read the scenes that the male lead being tortured by Crane, we're reading the scenes where he's being tortured by the state proctor of the Yemeni country. We're reading those scenes too. Like, the male lead had to be tortured for 3 days and 3 nights by the state proctor to prove that he was an actual traitor and not a spy. Literally was tortured for 3 days and 3 nights to prove it. And then he had the country's demonic things written and carved into his bones after the torture. He suffered even after he was tortured for 3 days and 3 nights. And this is why he can withstand the torture that Crane is putting him through. Crane is literally trying to destroy his head. Crane is not just doing this to experiment on him, but also to ruin the male lead's mind completely. Again, no one outside of Evening Snow, Morning Sun, and the main character and Close knows that the male lead gotten back some of his memories. No one else knows this. But this dude is still trying to completely scramble the rest of the male lead's head to keep the male lead from remembering an ounce of memories. He's trying to destroy and break the male lead, a promise he's made by someone who's his friend. And I'm thinking he's actually a traitor of their country and is actually friends with the state proctor of the Yemeni country, or somebody who's from the Yemeni country, or this is a promise he's making with the emperor, which is actually kind of scaring me. But at the same time, we literally read 2 different torture scenes the male lead has gone through, and I am literally horrified. And the male lead is just crying out to his friend, crying out to the main character, trying to keep his promise with the emperor and not reveal that him and the emperor working together as him as a spy against the Yemeni country. He's trying to keep his promise to the emperor, and I'm literally bawling. I'm bawling, people. Like, you guys should have warned me more. Like, I already knew this was going to be more depressing than Husky and his White Cat Fusion in a case of Condemn, but you guys should have warned me more. Okay, warn me more.